Good evening, I'm Tracina Gray with a CTV News Update. A Prince George's grand jury indicts 5 former volunteer firefighters for arson. Among those charged are 26-year-old Jeremy Hawkins and 21-year-old Cole Vasquez. The 5 West Lanham Hills volunteer firefighters allegedly conspired with civilians to set fires at 4 vacant homes. The incidents occurred in 2019 and 2020. This is the scene of one of the incidents on Wellington Street in Lanham. Officials say the kitchen was intentionally set on fire here. A press conference was held this morning.
As egregious as these allegations are, we are extremely thankful that no citizens were injured in any of these 4 fires.
The vast majority of our firefighters and other public service officials here in Prince George's County conduct themselves appropriately, that they understand their duty and they perform their duty with honor.
The suspects face conspiracy, misconduct in office, and arson charges. Meanwhile, the former Laurel police chief accused of multiple arsons across the region has been indicted on new charges. 69-year-old David Crawford faces 6 charges in Montgomery County for allegedly setting several fires in Clarksburg. Crawford already faces 20 counts in Prince George's County, from attempted first-degree murder to first-degree arson. Charges from other jurisdictions are expected as well. And the Sierra Club says it's opposed to the maglev project. That would connect D.C. and Baltimore via a high-speed magnetic levitation train. The group says it will endorse a no-build option in the draft environmental impact statement.
This one in particular has so many impacts that we cannot justify supporting it. One is inequities. The route from DC to Baltimore going through Prince George's County is approximately 70% of the parcel owners are people of color and minorities. So it's something in the draft environmental impact statement that is out now for review. This train is traveling above ground. There is a chance that 200+ acre train maintenance facilities are going to be located. There's one of them, but there's going to be located in either BARC or the Patuxent Research Refuge. The structure for this train process will be clear cutting so many forested and tree canopies that this will affect our impacts to climate change drastically.
The proposed maglev train would travel between the 2 cities in 15 minutes at 300 miles per hour. The project is estimated to cost more than $16 billion. And the state health department reports 942 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. This brings the number of confirmed cases to more than 447,000. An additional 25 Marylanders have died from the virus. Currently, more than 1,000 residents are in the hospital with COVID-19. You're watching CTV News. I'm Tracina Gray. Back in a moment.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. A retired Maryland videographer is looking for a helping hand as he battles kidney disease. As CTV reported yesterday, Ron Miner needs a kidney transplant for the 2nd time. Miner says doctors told him 3 months ago that he needs a new organ. Miner says he's currently on dialysis 3 days a week while he is waiting for a new kidney. He says he was first diagnosed 12 years ago.
Late in life, I contracted, diabetes, and One day you went to the doctors.
I went to the doctors, and he says, patted me on my stomach. I'll never forget it. He patted me on my stomach and said, you're gonna need a kidney. I said, oh God. My kidneys were failing then, and I didn't know it.
I just knew that we would take care of whatever needed to be done. I knew that I would be the donor, and I'm just a straightforward, matter-of-fact person. And I knew we would go through the protocols of the process to get tested.
Minor is encouraging anyone who'd like to donate to contact the George Washington Transplant Institute. An off-duty Pentagon police officer accused of shooting 3 men is indicted on murder and attempted murder charges in Montgomery County. 40-year-old David Hall Dixon is accused of shooting at the men in a Tacoma Park parking lot as they drove away. Dixon faces 7 counts in all, 2 for the fatally shootings of Dominique Williams and James Johnson, and 1 count for the attempted murder of Michael Thomas. The grand jury also indicted Dixon on several other assault counts for an unrelated incident last year. Meanwhile, county police are looking for clues in the fatal shooting of a 26-year-old man in Clinton nearly 2 weeks ago. This is Randy Thompson from the district. Officers found him shot to death in a car in the 12,000 block of Gallahan Road back on April 13th. Now CrimeSolvers is asking for your help. If you have any information on the case, you're asked to call CrimeSolvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. A group of astronomers recently measured the size of a neutron star, an object on the verge of collapsing into a black hole. They studied the star using NASA's NICER telescope on the International Space Station. NICER's principal investigator, Keith Jandro, says the technology has had a lot of important spin-offs here on Earth.
As we built up our instrument to look at these objects, we had to develop technologies, right, that do have a real world impact on life around here. So when we look at neutron stars, we're looking at pulsars, and so this is a neutron star with a hot spot that spins very rapidly, and it comes in, the hot spot comes in and out of our field of view, and that's why it appears to pulse. We needed to simulate that on the Earth so that make sure our detectors would actually function properly. So we developed a new type of X-ray source to do that work. Turns out that X-ray source that we've developed that allowed us to test how well our instrument would work and ensure that we make the proper measurements in space could have a very practical value. So we're actually working with Mass General Hospital to make a new type of CAT scan machine, which could do CAT scans with this type of X-ray source with an order of magnitude less dose. So you could get the diagnostic information with less risk of cancer, for example.
Viewers can learn more about neutron stars, black holes, and the telescope at nasa.gov/NICER. More news in a moment. Stay tuned.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids could look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Well, she started her basketball journey at Largo High. Now, after years of being away, she's back home in the area coaching for George Mason University. Meet Vanessa Blair Lewis, the new head coach for the women's basketball team. Blair Lewis used to play for Largo High, and in 1996, she was the assistant coach alongside her father. She recently left Bethune-Cookman University after being there for 13 years, leading the team to 6 winning seasons. She hopes to bring that streak with her to George Mason.
I was able to take over a program at Bethune-Cookman that was last in every statistical category, and I knew the job that was ahead of me but I also believed in my abilities to turn it around, not just from a win and loss record, but from a cultural inside of the person perspective. I just don't coach the athlete. That part, I believe, if you have great talent, it's easy to do. But to coach the person inside of the uniform takes a little bit more depth, a little bit more caring. And that's what we do with our program. So we want to bring that culture here, that culture of winning.
Blair Lewis is a 20-year coaching veteran. She also played 2 years professionally in Sweden. And it's a football frenzy time for NFL fans. Day 2 of the annual college football draft gets underway this evening. On day 1 last night, the Washington football team picked a linebacker at number 19. He's Jamin Davis, a versatile player at 6'3" and 234 pounds.
The Washington football team selects Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky.
As I was going through the process, he just kept sticking out. This guy had the most position flex than any of them. A guy that can play all your positions, linebacking positions, will learn quickly, will develop quickly, will understand quickly, and can help others around him. The thing that struck me is how bright he is. I mean, he's a sharp young man, and I think that translates well into what we do and how we play.
Not only had over 100 tackles, he had 3 interceptions. One he took back to the house against Tennessee, which was a great play. This guy was active. He was showing up around the ball and making plays. Put that tape on. This guy's a football player. He is a football player.
Meanwhile, congratulations to Upper Marlboro's Christian Darrisaw. He was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings last night at pick 23 in the first round. Darrisaw, an offensive tackle, was a first-team All-ACC selection at Virginia Tech. He played high school ball at Riverdale Baptist. Also up north, the Baltimore Ravens go offense with the 27th pick in the first round. They take a highly regarded receiver out of the University of Minnesota.
With the 27th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota.
When I got to college, that was my main focus, was to work hard and get to the next level. And now that I'm here, it's definitely a blessing. I have been watching the Ravens the past couple of years, and I've seen nothing but amazing things. I'm just excited to be a part of a hungry team so we can get ready to chase the Super Bowl.
Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft begin at 7 this evening. Prince Georgians are invited to take part in cleanup activities around the county this weekend. The Department of Public Works hosts the countywide Going Green with Pride event tomorrow, May 1st. Residents are asked to help with crews with the litter pickup in their communities. Officials say more than 900 volunteers have signed up for Saturday's event.
Communities organize their own cleanups, and so they have various neighbors that come together and they designate what areas of their community they want to clean up, but we provide the supplies for them. So mulch, bags, gloves, litter grabbers, we have those available here for the community. This is not just something we're going to do today. We are going to tackle this matter of litter and illegal dumping until it's eradicated.
And the event will take place from 9 a.m. until noon. Let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with high winds and a low around 41 degrees. Saturday, sunny with a high near 68 and a low around 53. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 85 and a low around 62. Monday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers. Daytime temps reach a high near 79 and a low around 65. And now for the community calendar. Want to learn how to overcome your fears and face your challenges head on? Well, don't miss the Entrepreneur Series tonight, Friday, April 30th at 7 p.m. Hear from host Kayla Harley and guest speakers on topics such as career sustainability and financial literacy. The virtual event takes place every Friday via Facebook Live. To listen and search for their page, CEOINC Arts. And that's a wrap up for our CTV News Update. I'm Tracina Gray. Have a great weekend. Good night.